Judgment here. It's time to do the build video that I said I would do for Mavina in her next stage, where she's equipped with the full Mavina's Battle Hymn set. She's in fact well past level 97. I've wondered whether it's possible to play a character equipped with a full high level set up to level 99, and this character certainly looks capable of doing that, though it may take quite some time. When I established this character to use the Mavina set, the idea was not to have a character built with super powerful rune words, but would still have some decent clearing speed. So I'll go through the gear and skills. For gear we have the full Mavina set, the bow with the shale rune in it, helm with a 15 attack speed, 33 enhanced damage dual in it, the armour with an attack speed dual in it, the belt, and the gloves. Now you'll notice you get 25 all resists from the helm and another 25 from the belt, and with the set bonus of 50, that means you start at plus 100 all resists. And I'd remind people that you need to get to 145 to have full resistances of 75 each in hell level, and I'll show you how that's obtained in a moment. The other pieces of the gear that are relatively standard are War Travellers and a near perfect Nagel ring, one of two that I'm carrying for this character, and the two other parts of the gear are this ring here, which is a dual leech ring, and notice the level requirement is 74. I'll mention that in context with a dual leech blood ring. And the other piece of the gear is that amulet. There's a crafted blood amulet. The 24 to strength is certainly the difference between equipping and not equipping the gear, but I like the 6 run walk. I'm disappointed it only has 2 lifesteal, and 11 all resistances is a nice boost to get us up towards the maximums. The charms, there's a Hellfire Torch. I've gone towards attributes here. Possibly on an Amazon without a shield you could go towards resistances. The best of my 3 are Nihilist charms. The grand charms are Aegides. Bow skillers, 6, 5 and 4 to dexterity. Passive and magic skiller with 12 hit recovery. Bow skiller with poison damage. And a physical sunder charm which I carry all the time. Despite the fact that the Mavina set biases towards cold damage, I'm not using a cold sunder charm. That charm there with all resistance of 3/6 magic find, and another poison damage charm, and I wonder why I actually need that one, and just some magic find charms, a little bit of fire damage on that one. On Switch we've probably got the rarest part of the gear, and it's that bow. Matriarchal bows can generate up to 5 sockets, but just by chance one of the characters, and I think it may have even been this one, was able to find a matriarchal bow with 4 sockets, 3 to bow skills, and also had 14 enhanced damage. And it rolled, after a couple of tries, 271 out of 275 to give a total of 285 enhanced damage. It's there for the Vigour aura and the rare occasions when this character runs out of arrows on the main set of weapons. So the stats and advanced stats look like this. 10% lifesteal, majority of that is from the ring. The 11% mana steal, also the majority from the ring. We're only on 167 magic find because I need to go on to the Mavina set. 267 magic find there due to the bump of 100 from the Mavina set bonus. We have 120 attack speed, and the significant breakpoint there I think is 110. We've also got the 20% to cold skill damage that the Mavina set confers. There are her damage skills. For strength I've only started at base 23. I have put extra into dexterity for more damage, and a fair chunk into vitality. Nothing at all into energy. You notice that we have full resistances here, not on Switch. And what that means is that charm there is the difference between getting maximised resistances and not. I do a small measure of gear swapping, that's for the Mercenary's benefit, but I'll show you what else is here. 3 socket mage plate, shale thul lem, that'll go to treachery, probably towards the Fury Druid. I carry some versions of Insight. We found that one there. I'll probably try putting Insight in that, and I use that in place of the Mercenary's normal weapon where I need the mana regeneration, and that's typically places like Luke Delane sewers and the ancient tunnels where you have the skeletons and the life leech doesn't work. Naja's Puzzler, that's mainly there for running Pindleskin. So a couple of teleports across to Pindleskin, freeze all the monsters, go from there. There's another dual leech ring, but I prefer the one she has for the extra leech. The boost amount is not really significant. There's a ring with maximum lifesteal, which I don't use, but I thought I'd give it a try. There's the other near perfect Nagel ring. You'll notice that one's got perfect attack rating, 1 off perfect magic find, and that's 1 off perfect attack rating and has magic find, so they're both close to perfect. If I take off that ring, which I do on occasions, then the only mana steal is from the belt and the only life steal is from the ring. I don't normally consider that to be sufficient. There's another dual leech ring, and I was using that one on occasions before I found that charm because it has all resistances 10. Notice the high level requirement of 96, which happens a lot when you craft blood rings and they get dual leech properties. A Nature's Peace ring, and that's used principally in the areas where there are Haradrums, like for example the Halls of the Dead. The Mercenary is a Might Aura Mercenary, Laharis. He has my best non-ethereal Reaper's Toll, in keeping with the idea of not having a super powerful build based on rune words. I've given him my best non-ethereal Reaper's Toll with a Shale rune in it, a full lifesteal Vampire Gaze, which also has full physical damage reduction, but you could use Gwillem's Face there quite successfully, provided you stuck with a Reaper's Toll with some lifesteal. And I've made a slight concession here. I've used Hustle in an Archon plate, and my normal opinion is that you are better off with Treachery when the monsters get really tough for the physical damage reduction and bigger booster resistances. But having the 65 run walk is a real bonus, having the Mercenary quickly into the battle. There are his stats and advanced stats. You see he has 23 lifesteal. He would still have 8 even with Insight in place of that. 75 attack speed. For skills, well, nothing in Javelin and Spear. For passive and magic skills, I've gone 1 point in each in all of these, down to Valkyrie that I've maximised, that I have never used a Valkyrie before. I put 3 each in these ones here because I thought each of those had reached the level where the diminishing returns meant that extra skill points weren't really all that valuable. So 82% pierce, 185% bonus to attack rating, and a 65% chance to do double damage. Now I've maximised Valkyrie because if I go to bow and crossbow skills, I've maximised the 2 cold damage skills, that is cold arrow and freezing arrow, and I've only put 1 point into ice arrow because its only advantage is to lengthen the freeze length for freezing arrow. That gave me a lot of skill points left over, so I've gone 1 point magic arrow, which I use on occasions, multi-shot very rarely, but only 1 point. I have maximised strafe to give her a mix of cold damage and physical damage. And remember, we are carrying a Sunder Charm and the Mercenary has a Reaper's Toll, and that sees to it that pretty much nothing in the game is physical immune. And extra points I'm putting into Guided Arrow, because occasionally you get cold immune monsters where Guided Arrow knocks them down well enough, though it's never all that quick. Any extra points, and she's only got 2 levels to go, will go into Guided Arrow. So that's it for her gear and skills. We are going to have a look at some gameplay. I started recording this video in July of 2025. It's now early October. You can see I'm out of the pink winter suit and into my mid-level ski suit that I wear before the weather gets really warm. The current terror zone is the Ancient Tunnels, which is a mixed area for this character. There are a lot of monsters for which the lifesteal doesn't work, so I tend to run at the moment with the Reaper's Toll on the Mercenary. You can use Insight here, Mana's a problem, but I solved that by mostly switching to strafe. So we switched to the harmony bow to run towards the ancient tunnels. There are often unique groups on the way. There's one there. I often wonder whether these are worth having a go at, because there's often many more than what we're seeing here. So I'm going to strafe there just to regain mana. There's the unique. Oh, that one's cold enchanted. We'll change to guided arrow and run back just as the monster dies. I'm looking around for arrows. Now, I don't know whether that's worth the trouble or not. Okay, back to the harmony bow. I'll just give them a miss. So there's another unique group. And there's another one up there. Guided arrow for that one. Okay, I'll have a look at the rare ring in a moment. Not really. Sometimes pick up full rejuvenation potions on the way.
I am overburdened.
Replenish arrows. Not going to worry about them. And the ancient tunnels are just here. Doesn't matter what set of weapons we're on for the Valkyrie, it's still level 33. Okay, we've got lightning mages here. Valkyrie is an immense tank, so we're mostly going with freezing arrow. I forget the name of the skills. And that's a unique group, so we're going to strafe here to get mana. And that might be another Sunder Charm there.
I can't carry anymore. I am
Alright, now we change to strafe, and that's a unique group. This is just, it's a champion group as well. And this is purely just to keep up the mana. That is a Sunder Charm. Not really much good. Okay, strafe for mana. What you can do is just use the other skill, Ice Arrow, just to stop them. It doesn't. Well, there's an experience shrine we'll have. And sometimes if the monsters are spread, I will use strafe instead of freezing arrow. Okay, there's an example of what I mean. So I'm going to just stamp the character there, and this is what I like as a sort of a tactic. You've got the Mercenary one side, the Valkyrie the other, and that keeps the character fairly safe. But it's not as quick as just using the freezing arrow skill. Oh no, shouldn't have done that. I don't really need a skill shrine. So we can use that now to raise a level 35 Valkyrie. You can see the skeletons coming, change to strafe before they arrive.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. And you can see here the effect of not quite having 100% penetrate. A ruby and a small charm. Okay, that's not. I'm going to print screen that one. That may make the monthly drops video. Oh, what I've not been doing here is looking for arrows. They're not badly off yet, but there's some.
I am overburdened.
Okay, harmony bow for run. We're going to strafe here. Oh, that's a champion group. Let's knock that one down. And for single targets, here we will go for guided arrow. And there, I'm just going to do that to keep up the mana. We're just coming up to 2 PM here. The terrorized zone will become Flare Jungle and Flare Dungeon. There is something else you can do here, and I thought some measure of success with this tactic, but it doesn't suit this character. And that is, rather than run the Flare Jungle itself, we can do the traditional running of Lower Kurast. There's an experience shrine. Actually, right, while we've got that, we will go up to Lower Kurast. Now, Lower Kurast itself is never terrorised, but Stormtree, the super unique, always generates within the Flare Jungle, so he's always terrorised. Now, the trick here is to try and get the Mercenary to stay out of the battle.
I am overburdened.
Drag him over here. We go through that. We hope the Mercenary stays behind. We throw up both a Valkyrie and a decoy. Now, if the Mercenary will just stay out of the battle, because he frequently gets killed, the Valkyrie and the decoy here will try and absorb a fair bit of the damage. Now, this is quite slow, but I thought I'd show people some gameplay where the character is not suited. You can see the Valkyrie is slowly going down, but this is look as if it's not going to work out too badly. No, she's revived herself. Stormtree himself is always immune to cold, but there we can just go guided arrow. Now, I don't ever recall getting any drops of any enormous import off terrorised Stormtree, but having done this, we can now rush up to Lower Kurast and pop the chests. Trying as far as possible to ignore the monsters. Okay, Topaz and Flawless Topaz, Flawless Amethyst. That's about it for Mavina. She is currently level 98.8 and hopefully will hit level 99 within the next couple of months. It's a character I've enjoyed playing, and this character should be the first set character I play up to level 99. It's not a particularly powerful build, and her best areas are really in Acts 1 and 2, and I'd rarely take this character into Acts 4 and 5, and Act 3 is just restricted to the Flare Jungle and Lower Kurast. I have not done an off-stream video for a long time, apart from the monthly drop videos, and I do a few others. And those are for Archie the Nova Sorceress, Lupin the Fury Druid, and Fetid the Poison Nova Necromancer. And a build video for one of those characters should be the next build video that you see. Ooh, a Surun. Oh, there we go. Jarun. Oh, and there we go. There's Griffin's Eye. Let's see the roll. -1715.